Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's talk about something most homeowners dread thinking about. Those big, unexpected home repairs.
The costly ones?
Exactly. Specifically, that sort of hidden pipe connecting your house to the city system, your sewer lateral.
Right, one buried underground.
When that breaks, it can mean a huge bill, totally out of the blue. But what if I told you there might be a way to get help with that cost? Maybe save thousands.
Well, there often is, especially for homeowners right here in the St. Louis area. A lot of cities around here have these programs that many folks just aren't aware of.
Programs, okay.
Yeah, specifically designed to help ease that financial shock. So our mission today really is to shine a light on these hidden lifelines, you could call them, and show how they could potentially save you a lot of money and hassle.
Okay, so this deep dive is really zeroing in on these city-run sewer lateral repair programs, specifically in St. Louis. Now, for anyone listening who isn't quite sure, what exactly is a sewer lateral? Why is this important?
Sure. So basically, think of it as the pipeline running underground from your house, connecting all your toilets, sinks, showers, out to the main public sewer line, usually under the street.
Gotcha. It takes all the wastewater away.
Exactly. And the important part, when that pipe cracks or gets clogged with roots or just fails, fixing it is usually not cheap.
Right. You're often talking digging up the yard, maybe even the sidewalk or street.
Precisely. It could be a major, major expense, not just a simple plumbing fix inside the house.
Okay, so these programs you mentioned, they step in to help with those kinds of costs. What exactly does a sewer lateral repair program do?
Essentially, it's a city initiative set up to assist homeowners with the often very significant costs of repairing or sometimes replacing their sewer lateral line.
And how do they fund that? Is it just general city money?
That's the interesting part. Usually it's funded through a very small annual fee that's added onto your property tax bill.
Oh, okay. So everyone chips in a tiny bit.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a collective pool of funds. So when one homeowner gets hit with this massive, unexpected repair bill, the program can offer financial help.
That actually sounds really smart. A bit like community insurance for this specific problem. So what kind of help are we talking? How much could someone actually save?
Well, the savings can be really substantial. It varies, of course, depending on the specific city's program. But you might get partial coverage for the repair costs, sometimes a pretty big percentage, or in some cases, maybe even full coverage for certain parts, like the work needed in the public right-of-way.
The right-of-way, that's like the strip between the sidewalk and the street, or...
Yeah, basically the publicly owned land.
Yeah.
Excavating there can be particularly pricey, so coverage for that part alone is a big deal. But again, the details really depend on where you live.
Okay, let's make this concrete then. Can you give us some examples, like specific cities in the St. Louis area and what their programs offer?
Sure. For instance, the city of St. Louis itself, their program tends to focus on repairs specifically under that public right-of-way.
Okay.
Then you have St. Louis County, which offers broader assistance, potentially helping with repairs, all the way from the house foundation out to the main line.
That sounds more comprehensive.
It can be.
Wow.
Then look at, say, Creve Coeur. Their program might cover something like 70% of the eligible costs, but they often have a cap, maybe around $7,500. Still, 70% is huge.
Wow, yeah, 70% of a $10,000 job, that's $7,000 saved.
Exactly. And Ferguson, their program might cover even more, potentially around 85% of the repair costs. Florissant, I believe, offers coverage for repairs, but maybe just up to, say, 5 feet from the house foundation.
So it really does vary quite a bit. You absolutely need to check your specific municipality.
Absolutely critical. You can see the potential difference it makes, right? A $10,000 repair could end up costing you maybe $3,000 or even less, depending on where you are in the program rules. That's massive.
That's incredible information. Okay, so let's say a homeowner suspects they have an issue. Maybe drains are backing up constantly, or there's a weird soggy patch in the yard. What are the first steps to, try and use one of these programs?
Good question. So if you notice those signs, recurring backups are a big one, or maybe even a sinkhole starting in the yard, your first real step should be calling a licensed plumber.
Okay, get a professional diagnosis.
Right. They'll typically run a camera down the line to see exactly what's wrong and where the problem is. You'll need their report and usually the video footage too as documentation.
Makes sense. Proof of the problem.
Definitely. Then you take that plumber's report and video and submit it to your city. Usually it's the Public Works Department or whichever agency handles their specific program.
And then they just approve the repair.
Well, here's the crucial part. You almost always need to get the city's approval before you start the actual repair work, especially if you want the program to cover costs. Don't just hire someone and send the bill later.
Ah, okay, so plumber inspects, you submit the info, you wait for the city's okay before digging starts.
Exactly. They'll likely have their own review process, maybe even send someone out. So a little bit of process, some patience,
Yeah.
but it could save you thousands.
Yeah, that patience seems key. So really, the big takeaway for listeners here is that these programs exist specifically to help with these really expensive, disruptive sewer repairs that nobody wants to face. And yet, like you said, so many homeowners seem to be completely unaware they even exist.
That's the main point. It's a potential financial lifesaver for a very common, very expensive problem, and it's just flying under the radar for a lot of people. We're talking real money here. Thousands potentially saved on a repair. You might otherwise foot the entire bill for yourself.
Knowing this exists, I mean, does it change how you think about budgeting for those nightmare home repair scenarios? It certainly makes you realize there might be resources out there you hadn't considered.
Absolutely. I think the main thing is if you're a homeowner in the St. Louis area, it's really worth checking if your specific city or municipality has one of these sewer lateral repair programs. That tiny fee you might see in your tax bill could translate into some serious financial relief down the road if you ever unfortunately need it.
If your sewer line's acting up, don't panic and don't empty your savings. Call AA Quick at 314-429-7131 and we'll help you figure out if you're covered. Mention this podcast and get $20 off your service. Tell them Jim sent you.